Greetings, everyone. This is Muhammad Mubeen,
And this is Masood
and you are live to our podcast. And you are listening to our podcast, which would be on the topic.
of like career. Like why do you want to choose a certain career and
Yeah,
why? Basically, the question is why, not
Yeah.
which. It's why.
Yeah, so that the thing is, we are not recommending any sort of career. We are actually telling you guys why we actually chose CS and CE, the computer science as a whole.
Or like it can be even broader than that. Like why should you choose a certain career, right?
Yeah,
But I want to give a disclaimer in the start that we are not a certified counselors or something. We are just giving some advices on our
yeah.
experiences
So this is coming from
and
our
on
own
our
experience.
observations.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
So that's from our own
So
experience.
what I would say is that the advice that I usually give at the start of the podcast is that whenever like you're deciding in between careers, I would say the age of 18, 19 or 20 is too young to decide a career for oneself because you haven't explored much. You are just listening to those cliche and like those cliche career paths like go to engineering, go to electrical, mechanical, become a doctor or something. You don't even think out of the
Yeah,
box.
you're actually thinking about from the perspective of your own parents.
No, I
they're
won't
actually-
say from your own person, from the
But like
perspective of
that,
the society.
that actually influences you at some stage, basically.
Like,
When people
well-
usually do listen to them.
Well, like none of my family members would are in CS, but I am CS, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's the thing as well. But like the thing is like you came into computer science or engineering field, you didn't went into an art or something. People do in Pakistan usually think about going into arts or think about going into medical or engineering.
But I
only,
would
so-
say the real issue is that people don't think about arts because we never learn arts. We have never seen arts in such a
Yeah.
way. Did you do any
No.
kind of arts in your school?
We used to do art lessons. We had art lesson, but that thing
There
we
was
used to
drawing,
skip.
right?
Yeah, we used to
That
like
was
skip
art.
all of that thing. We even used to skip like
Like
music and stuff.
especially if we talk about Pakistani like education system, they don't teach us about literature. They don't teach us about like philosophy.
Yeah,
They don't
that's the
teach us
thing.
about psychology or I would say
Yeah.
art or something.
Yeah, so that's the thing that actually people don't consider. Okay, yeah.
So like that's why I'm saying
Mm.
the age of 18 to 20 is too young to decide a
But
career for
still,
oneself and like get into a career and think that it's your career, it's your passion, right?
Yeah.
So what I would say like finding your own career, your own passion is a lifelong journey. You
But-
need to explore different paths and different jobs
Yeah.
in order to know which suits you more.
But from all your conversation, I was like just thinking about one thing. There is one case study where Japanese actually are people in Finland actually like make their children from very young age choose their profession. Like they just randomly make them go out and then explore things out on their own, and the things that they actually pick, they are able they take that thing and they actually make them focus on that particular thing. So there is also a culture where people in different countries and like in Finland and Japan, they ask their children to pick their career or to pick their interest at a very young age, because if you're able to pick your interest at a very young age, you will pick that thing irrespective of the money that you will be getting or the thing that you would be getting.
And the thing that in Pakistan that I have seen that there's no trend of like job shadowing. Did you become a doctor for one day to see how a doctor works? Did you become a mechanical engineer?
Yeah,
or
that's
electrical
actually
engineer for
not
a day?
a concept. That should be the concept that's practiced in various different.
I think it's practiced in
countries.
USA and like other
Yeah,
big
it is.
countries,
There-
developed countries. So
There's no such thing as like job shadowing. So that's something that actually promotes you to take a career. So that's exactly where we need to actually emphasize and actually work on, because we need to actually make our children enable and actually make them like more competent in choosing their career that they will be basing their entire livelihood on.
yeah,
So
and apart from that, like I would say explore a lot. Explore at least at till the age of 25, so that you know what you would like. And I would say know yourself more because you are the one who would be like doing that specific job or career for your whole life.
yeah.
So don't get into a career that you don't like, right?
Yeah, exactly. But there's like it's never late when it comes to career. You can change it anytime you want. If you're thinking it's not up on your on your mark, you're not enjoying it, you can change it anytime you want to. So that's the thing as well. And I'm pretty sure you would actually enjoy the rest of the life with the career that you will choose into. So that's
Yeah, and especially in this like 21st century where everything is just a search away, a Google search away. You can easily change your careers.
yeah,
You can easily learn a new skill, and you can
exactly.
easily network with people around and get a job into whatever field you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So
How about let's come back to our topic, like why did we choose? Because we also had all of this thing coming into our mind, and then we also had to choose our career at a very young age. At not at a very
not a
young
young age, I
age,
would say.
but
I'm
like
a quite old guy.
yeah. But for me, from my perspective, I've actually made up my mind of going into one career, but I actually changed it just recently. So that's the thing.
Well, I
So
won't. It's a big change. It's just a minor change.
yes, a very minor change,
It's
but
like a big.
yeah, tiny little bit thing, and I actually changed into. But so let's talk about our main topic. So Masood, so before coming into CS, I know that you were not from the CS background entirely. You did something else, and then you came into CS. It's the journey was really weird and really remarkable as well. So just like
Well,
walk us through your entire journey.
well, I won't say my journey has ended yet. I'm still exploring.
Oh wow!
Oh,
At the age of 22, you're still exploring again.
but I'm not that old. I'm
Yeah,
only 21.
okay, shit.
So don't overage me till I am.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, initially I loved bio. I still love bio. And if I want to study bio again and again, it was an interesting subject for me. And I was studying bio till till my grade A levels. So I never touched like I know I'm doing a degree, a major in computer science and a minor in finance, and I'm exploring different areas like big information systems and other areas because I had a lot of free electives which you don't have, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a fun thing for me. So I'm still exploring, but like I had never thought about CS. Even if you like just if you just ask some of my classmates or batchmates that in my of my A levels or O levels and ask them did he ever said he wanted to do a CS. I had mentioned like medicine, I had mentioned electrical engineering, I had mentioned even accounting and stuff, but I never mentioned CS.
Yeah, if you now go to them, if you now go to his friend and mention that Masood is doing CS, they would be shocked, right? They
At
might
least
have.
they won't be shocked because they know that I'm doing
Yeah, I
it.
know. But like, what was their first reaction?
It
Like
was
when
like,
you told them that you went into CS?
well, for them, I was they knew that I would do something.
Yeah, they knew
I
you
would,
would
I
do
would,
something weird.
I would go into something. I will do at least something. So it wasn't the reaction wasn't that weird, but like my life journey is a bit weird, right? And given that I love bio, but I'm doing CS.
Oh, wow. Exactly. That's a very big shift inside, right? Learning from like human machines to going into
Mechanical machines.
mechanical machines. Weird stuff, right? But like he still went into that thing.
Well, yeah.
So,
And if I talk about that, why I didn't choose bio, why didn't I choose medicine? Is that like what at that time like, I had never done job sharing or something. At that time, my perspective of being a doctor was like doing surgeries, meeting a lot of people around, and like you need to be good at communication and you need to be like extrovert as far as I think. And for me, like if I see and talk to that old Masood, he was like an introvert kind of a guy. He didn't talk much.
oh wow! So you were
So
introvert. Wow.
yeah, I was an introvert. But I like to explore and I didn't talk. I didn't like whatever was in my mind. I didn't like those things didn't come to my mouth. I would say I couldn't form words which were about the things that were revolving in my mind.
Okay.
So I didn't want to like, do surgery. I like for some reason I'm a bit shaky with my hands.
Yeah, you don't have
Like,
stable hands.
Like even doing like physics experiments or chemistry experiments or bio experiments,
How did
my
you,
hands a bit shaky.
how were you able to pass your P4 exams and physics and chemistry? What the hell? How were you able to even do titration?
Let me correct you. It is P3.
Oh, P3, yeah, P3 shit. I forgot everything about since I
So
graduated
yeah,
from A level. So no worries.
well, luckily
But
I passed those exams.
he was
Like,
lucky with his hands because he should be very lucky when he's doing titration because you need constant shaking of hands for mix the solution well. So he might be very lucky with that experiment.
So then when I was applying to universities, like I won't lie here, I had applied to multiple universities all across Pakistan, and I like for abroad it was a different case. It was just a fun case that you would be like if you have heard our podcast on like why study abroad, you might know the case.
Yeah, you might know the entire
But
thing. So if you haven't watched it, you just listen to it.
yeah, just listen to it. It was there I was talking about like why I applied abroad or how did I apply abroad. So do listen to that podcast if you want to. And if you want some good tips. So I applied to various areas. I applied to like business areas to be. I never applied to BBA. I applied to accounting. I applied for CS. I applied for electrical. I applied for mechanical. I even applied for medicine. So it's about like 5 areas in general.
5 different fields.
Fields in general.
Taking full advantage of his
And-
medical
Yeah.
knowledge. Because in medicine, you can just get into any 3 of them.
But like, yeah, the good thing that I did in my levels is that I took bio, I took maths.
Yeah, that's
So
the thing.
my fields were open.
Yeah, I believe taking maths is something very crazy and very good as well. For even like people usually go to bio just because they're scared, they're like afraid of maths. But the thing is, if you take maths, your all entire opportunity, the entire scope and the entire horizon actually opens up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for my case,
Yeah, let me complete myself.
yeah. Oh
man.
shit. Oh, you want to complete more? Okay.
So, apart from all those options, Alhamdulillah, I got admission in almost everywhere. But like, I ended up choosing going abroad and doing CS. And like I told you why I didn't want to do bio or medicine because I didn't like surgery and my hands were a bit shaky. And that was my perspective about being a doctor that you need to meet a lot of people. So bio was out of the like scenario. I didn't want like for electrical engineering. I didn't like physics that much to be honest. So after giving a long thought, then I thought like I mechanical and electrical are just, like physics heavy, and let's avoid it. So that thing was like out of scenario again. So like eventually I was left with accounting and CS.
Why don't you go to biotech?
Well, like you're in Pakistan, you don't know does even biotech exist there.
Yeah, I don't.
So
But there are actually machines, but no, those
They're
machines
like-
are actually important.
given that the place where I live, it's not like as big as Karachi or like it doesn't have much exposure there. We don't have much exposure there. So we didn't even know biotech existed at that time, right? So I ended up with 2 options: CS and finance, accounting, and I chose CS because I thought it will give me a more chance to explore different fields because CS is needed everywhere right now. You need like CS skills to go into any industry that you want. And apart from that, so that's why I went into CS. So
that's
let's hear about Mubeen's story. Why he chose CS.
Yeah,
Then shifted to
why I actually chose CS. Finally, I got my chance to speak. Finally,
You didn't
So,
speak for
the
an
thing-
hour, man.
yeah,
I
now-
won't
no.
stop you.
I don't want to speak for an hour. I don't have time right now. So the thing is, why I choose CS? Like my main, if you actually hear to like the freelance podcast and anything like that, I think we would be like posting that thing. We would be talking about freelancing as well. So I started off doing being a freelancer, and my main field was web dev. So I was more like a tech guy. I loved playing with because I actually got my computer at a very young age. I was a very geeky guy who used to like sit on his computer and keep on playing different games. Like I used to love games. I actually loved playing games. So the thing is, this actually got me hooked up to the computers and the entire hardware and thing. I was very much oriented to software and stuff, so I started doing like freelancing, and then I started working as a web developer. So this was very much, I was literally very much oriented to tech. Sorry, I was very much oriented to tech. The thing is,
I would say not tech, it's web.
yeah, like technology in a sense that was something very new
Like-
in my time because
Like in tech,
HTML was
like web and tech, I think both are different
Um,
fields. Like in tech,
I
there's
mean,
hardware, there's circuits,
um,
they're like logic gates and stuff.
I mean, like,
You went to web, I
for
guess.
like tech purpose, like techie in a sense that I had knowledge about various computer software, and I had knowledge about different like core like CPU cores and stuff at that time. So I knew stuff, but like not the technical stuff. But I was very much IT sort of
So yeah, I would
oriented
say you
to,
are geek.
yeah, a guy who actually loves like technology and stuff.
So I can say you are geek, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not entirely a geek, but like I used to communicate to people as well. But I used to watch animes, cartoons, and stuff on computer. Very much attached to my computer. I actually loved my computer. So I started off from web dev, and then going on, I started working as well. I thought, how about make this as my profession? In fact, in school, I actually loved physics. In fact, I loved doing physics and maths.
Do you love
These
physics now as well after going
Yeah,
on to the switch?
I still love physics. I just want to get into the physics thing. I actually love physics more than maths. In fact, physics and maths usually go hand in hand. But the thing is, still I like talking about physics. I love sharing facts about physics and knowing some new stuff and new facts about physics and reading research papers and stuff. So but not very mathematically oriented, like the things that are very much like in a physical like in a like literature form, or in a form that gives you more about the theory. So like that thing I actually loved a lot in physics, and that actually kept me going later on. So but my main aim, like my main passion was computing. My main thing was programming, so I actually loved programming from very young age. So that's why I started I actually I started liking computer science. I used to get really good grade in computers as well. I was a very top notch student in computer science. So
So you did computer science in O levels and A levels,
yeah,
right?
I gave up my A level and O level exams with very good grades. So I actually did computer science in O level and A level. And in A levels, I used studied about object oriented programming and a
Very
lot of
nice.
different like a lot of like different algorithms and stuff as well. So that's what I used to do. And so that's why I was very much hooked
So
up to
so
computer science. But
yeah.
the thing I actually literally, I'm like, before choosing like here, when I was coming to HKU, like in my first year, I got to know like somehow literally every Indian, literally every Pakistani guy was going into HKU, was going into like CS. Back in my own country, like people who were doing bio initially came into CS.
Uh,
People who were literally doing even people who didn't even know how to like were didn't have actually played a lot with the computer and didn't even know about pseudocodes. In fact,
I'm here.
yeah, actually came into computer science. I was like, this industry is going to be really stacked up with a lot of new and new like graduates. So I thought, how about change it a little bit, even though I will take my passion with me. I believe that I can learn computer science stuff on internet for free, so I don't have to actually take up a degree, especially a degree that focuses just only on computer science. So I thought about getting into computer engineering, because and I actually found out that there's a good profession that's called as data engineering. I used to heard of I actually heard about data science, but data engineering was something very new to me. So I was like, okay, this is something different. I actually explored that field, and I found out that computer engineering was sort of supporting a track that takes you to data engineering. So that's why I thought, how about I get into computer engineering and do some hardware and stuff, to work with some embedded systems and work with like robotics and do some Raspberry
Mhm.
Pi configuration and stuff. So I wanted to sort of get into some hardware, learn about hardware technologies, because my main aim to get into a university was basically to gain knowledge, not to just complete my degree. The thing was to just gain knowledge, and that actually kept me going, and that actually pushed me to take computer engineering instead, because I wanted new knowledge. I wanted the knowledge of hardware that I never used to touch. I literally never opened my computer ever before. I know about technical stuff. I know about I even used to sit with one of my friend in a computer repairing workshop, but I never used to touch any sort of hardware stuff. I used to just work on the software problems and stuff. I didn't I never did it as a profession. I did it just because my friend was sitting in that place, and he was just helping his brother who actually owned that computer fixing thing. And I was even able to learn a lot of stuff about computers and stuff, and even got my PC fixed for free at that moment. So that's why I used to sit with him in his computer repairing shop. So that's how actually my only interaction with hardware. The next interaction I got was in my O level 11th grade. I actually got into Impact Lab, and like STEM lab that was held in DHA. Actually met a very good instructor there, Sasha. I hopefully will be in. Hopefully we might invite him as well, because he's a very good tech geek as well. Someone who loves technology, and he was really expert in robotics. So he actually taught me about a lot of different stuff of robotics. So I actually worked on a line following robot in grade 11, and since then I never touched hardware. But I wanted to learn about like computer hardware and stuff. So that was something that actually pushed me into computer engineering. So I think that's all from me. I hope I talked a lot.
You talked a lot, but like in your talk, you said that you were seeing a lot of your friends going to CS. So my question for you is that is it like why they wanted to go into CS? Is it just a trend that is pushing them there, or like do they really wanted to do it?
What actually pushed them? The thing is the money. When you search on top paying jobs, you get like programming is the one of the top paying job, like literally everywhere in United States, in UK, in France, in you name it, you get it.
But
Like, literally there's
but not everyone gets the job, right? It's
yeah,
someone
that's the
luck,
thing.
it's
they
someone
they
else.
they just started aiming for Google straight on. What the hell? I was like, okay, you just haven't even started programming yet, and you're aiming for Google, and that's how it works. Actually,
But
and
I also aim high,
yeah,
always aim
but
high.
that's good. That's good. Even I started off programming and thinking about computer science after looking at Google and stuff, and that the salary that they usually give, and their offices and their cute
But yeah,
stuff.
I would jump in and say that salaries and everything
Yeah,
in
I
life
know, I
you
know.
will
But
get
like
enough.
at a very young age.
I hope so, and I
Yeah.
believe that you will earn enough in your life
Yeah.
to have a
It
good
depends on your
given in
fate.
life.
Like it depends on your like the predestination and stuff. So like it depends. The money that is yours is like predestined to you. So the thing is this. But I feel like because at a very young age they just had a very materialistic focus. People do have some materialistic focus and stuff. So they just wanted to do this. Now, one of the reason would be money, and then the other reason could be like it's quite easy to get into computer science just because you just need maths. No science is needed. Just I got to know it from Pakistan, because in HEC has like eliminated
Is it
the
recent? Like I think
the
that you need physics and chemistry, or at least three
no,
science
I don't think
subjects.
so. Like you just need one science. One you just need maths. You can just get into computer science really easily. You just need one science subject and maths. You can get into computer science. So it's sort of like easier to get into computer science. In Pakistan especially, like people were going into computer science because, and especially computer science is also a very emerging technology. Thing is, you can work from your home, you can work from any place you want to, and you live in
But
a global world, and you are actually the part of the global world. So there are a lot of job opportunity in some computer science. So that's why people usually go for computer
But
science.
here the issue is that you go into computer science looking at the job prospects. You go into computer science looking at your friends. But when you go into computer science, you realize that it's not meant for you. It's you're not passionate about coding. You're not passionate about thinking
I
or
believe
problem solving. So then you cry all your education. Like then you can't
yeah,
work. You just like
you take
go
it
on
as
a
a burden or something.
yeah. So
But
do you prefer that?
no, I personally don't prefer that. With thinking some profession as a burden would never going to like be fruitful for you. It would be more depressing for you, and not nevertheless, it's also going to What else it's gonna do is that you would be earning money at the end of the day, because at the end of the day there would be money. Like you would be earning doing anything, but you won't be really satisfied with your job. The thing is, you need to be satisfied in your job. So um, I would personally and highly recommend that go for your interest, not just go for computer science or something. The interest actually matters a lot.
Yeah, so then interest matters a lot and keep on exploring. And if I talk about myself, I'm still exploring. As Mubin knows, like I have taken a lot of finance courses because I want to explore finance, and I like after taking some finance courses, I found out that I have some inclination to finance. As I previously I was talking about accounting, but I took accounting course here at the university, and I realized that it's a bit boring for me. So I dropped the idea of doing accounting in future as well. And again, here I'm taking like other courses there as well. Like for recently, I'm trying to get into Arabic,
Oh,
and I'm even like I even tried to take like information systems or business analytics and such some other courses that I wish to do. And I'm even planning for taking a philosophy course. Do you want to take?
philosophy course, huh? That's a very good choice, but the thing is, we don't get enough free elective. Damn, man. Our computer engineering is more like a major in computer science with a minor in electronics and electronical engineering and
So we
stuff.
had fun.
So yeah, these guys have fun. You guys can choose literally anything. So that's the pro thing about taking CS, and especially in HKU, that you can like get and like explore a lot of different fields. So that's the one of the advantage. But the thing with CE is that you are very much confined to your own subject, very much confined. Literally, you just take core
Like I would
subjects a lot.
say, if you know that that's your passion, and if you know that
Yeah,
you want to do it, you love to do it, then stick to it. Go deep into your field, learn as much as you can, be a professional so that nobody can beat you.
exactly. The thing you
Because the
love,
world
and
is cruel.
yeah. You become a professional in something that you actually love, and especially you become really good at it. You start taking it as a hobby, not as a profession. The
Yeah,
thing is, just take it as a hobby, so you start loving it. So there are literally different fields that you can get into, and you can be a very good professional. And you don't even have to care about money, because if you are really good at something, you the money will actually chase you up.
yeah, that's so true. Uh, and apart from like computer science, did you ever try other hobbies?
Yeah, there are literally a lot of different fields. I know people who are getting into social sciences, neurosciences, and
Yeah,
different things. The
how
people
about
even
you?
like getting into journalism and these sort of stuff, and they are doing it just because of their passion, just because of their talent of speaking or doing something that they actually love. And that's the thing that you need to, because in Pakistan people don't even consider social sciences as an option. No one thinks about going into philosophy. No one even thinks about going into like sociology, or getting into what do we say, getting into neurosciences and neurosciences. Yeah, people do go into that because that's a field of medical medicine and
But
stuff.
it's like quite tough.
Yeah, it's really
It
quite
is
tough.
for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. It's quite really tough. But people don't think about getting into journalism and stuff. And then the thing is, there are quite a variety of options. If you are good at something, you actually enjoy watching that thing happening in front of you. You I want to that like mimic that thing. You want to like apply that thing in your entire life, in your life. I would personally suggest go for that thing. So
Yeah. And how about did you ever go for career counseling and stuff to like find out
um
what do you like?
in fact, I had counselors in my school, not in my school, but in my A level college. So I had counselors in that, but I never went to them just for a career selection, because I already made up my mind already that I wanted to get into CS. Even though I changed at the very last moment, when I was literally about, just one day was left to submit my preferences, and I went into that portal and literally changed swiped the through. I previously for like put CS on the top, but later I actually put it on second. So that's what I did previously. Now, so that's the thing. It's never too late. I hopefully, and hopefully I think I'm actually learning a lot in computer engineering. Um,
I hope so.
yeah.
uh,
So
yeah, so I think that's more or less for today's podcast.
yeah, hope
And We are almost at
Uh,
the end of our podcast.
yeah,
Do you have any other advices for
yeah,
our
that's
young
my
kids?
my last advice and my final advice would be to just follow your passion, follow what you like, even though it's the community is against you, even the society is against you. Just follow your passion, be on your own, be yourself. Just don't get influenced by the community. If you want to get into sciences, if you want to study physics, you want to study chemistry, you want to even go to arts and sciences, you want to study like sociology, psychology, something like that, just get into that thing. Just my professor went into like embryology, and he and someone actually went into like environment, he actually do research on coral reefs, and it's really fun for him because he likes scuba diving and he likes swimming, so he went into that field just because he it's very much oriented to his profession. So the thing is, follow your passion, think what you're good at, and then choose the relevant career according to that.
Yeah. And from my side, the advice is that keep on exploring. It's never too late to change a career, and it's always keep on exploring your other interests because you never know what would attract you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think
that's all
that's
from
all
my
from
side.
us. So this is Mohammed Mubin signing out.
And this is Masood Ahmed signing out.
So hope you all enjoyed our podcast. Stay tuned and do give us support. Do email us. This is all from us. So see you later in some other podcast. See you guys. Bye.